Okay, it's another loss for Joe Edwards and Millwall, and they'll be now looking over their shoulders at the bottom three, catching up to them. Let's get the views of George, our Millwall fan. Good evening, George. How are you?
Good, mate. Not too bad. How are you, okay?
Yeah, all right, not too bad, thank you. Let's chat. Let's chat Millwall then. Okay, yes or no? Have Millwall improved under Joe Edwards?
Well, we're in a transition period, and have we necessarily improved? No, I don't think we have. I think one win in 10 shows that, and that one win was against Sheffield Wednesday, who are bottom of the league. I think you can see that we're trying to play a different style of football. We under Gary Rowett, sort of, we had this identity where we'll sit back, allow the opposition to have majority of the possession. We'll sort of play off set pieces. And listen, we got results. We had a good season last season, but this season it didn't quite click. We've obviously got Joe Edwards in, and the style of football is different. We look to take control of the game. We look to have more possession of the football. And it's going to take time at the end of the day. We've got to wait till at least January, I think. And it's going to take time, but we need to start picking up points at the end of the day because we are now dangerously close to that relegation zone, only 2 points above it, and QPR are starting to pick up some points. So
Yeah, help me out with it. Is he trying to do play an expansive style of football with a set of players that just can't cope with that?
that
Um,
yeah, yeah, that is what it is. We've got uh, a set squad of players who I think are talented and can score goals and we're good defenders in their own right. But they're used to playing a style of football. We've never been a team which have usually passed it around the back. We never ever our centre halves never split. We never play out of the back. We've always been sort of not long ball such things, but we play a more direct style. A majority of our play comes in and around our own of the opposition half rather than in our own half. And I think under Joe Edwards, we're trying to put a style of football where we play it around in our own half and we take it to teams and we look to outpossess them. And we haven't got the players to do so, unfortunately. We've got the likes of Sean Hutchinson, Wes Harding are fantastic defenders in their own rights, but they're not ball playing centre backs. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. All right, talk us through that Cardiff game because for long spells in that there was nothing in it, and actually for some
right.
periods, actually Millwall were the better side. Is that fair?
I think that's fair. I think we were the better side for large spells of the game. Um, to be honest with you, it was a bit of a nothing game. I think first half there wasn't really many opportunities. Second half there wasn't really many opportunities. I think we lacked a bit of confidence in front of goal. And you can see that. I mean, Kevin Nisbet started up front and had scored two in his last two, but he had a few chances where you think if he's a full confident Kevin Nisbet probably scores them. I think Ian Fleming has been off the boil in recent weeks as well. Looks a bit lapse of confidence. So I think our confidence in front of goal was the main thing. The goal itself was a disappointing goal to concede from set pieces. I mean, Cardiff have scored the most set pieces in the league this season, but we've also conceded the least. So to concede from a set piece and it sort of just went under Sarkic's body as well. It's a save which I would like to think my goalkeeper should make. So it
Yeah,
was a disappointing result. Yeah, yeah.
and just I mean the pressure on the Stoke and Huddersfield and QPR game, coming up now. Do they become must win or are they just now not must not lose?
Um, well, listen, we need to start picking up points. We need to start getting wins on the board. Sorry, I think our home form has probably been one of our most disappointing things because
Yeah.
we've always been known to have a really good home form. The Den used to be a fortress, and we've actually got the worst home record in the league this season. So I think we need to start winning our home games because if we've got any chance of moving up the table, and I think that starts on Saturday with Huddersfield. I think it's a
Yeah.
perfect opportunity. Huddersfield are near enough where we are in the league, just sort of flirting with that relegation spot.
Mm.
And in Stoke away as well would be big, and in the QPR one is even bigger if you look at that now as well. Where they're
Yeah.
starting to pick up points, so we've got some huge games coming up. Yes,
Yeah.
huge games.
Okay. Just what's the talk on the terraces finally then, George, around the managerial change and as Rowett wasn't disliked, was he, by the fan base at all? I actually thought, he was getting the best out of a very mediocre average squad. Are there any disgruntled voices on the terraces saying, we shouldn't have done this, we've made a mistake?
No, I think a large majority of the fan base are behind Joe Edwards. I think they understand that it's going to take time, and the thing is with our fan base, with Millwall fans, is that we expect things like that, and if they don't come like that, then we get quite passive aggressive. Let's just say.
Millwall, passive
Yeah,
aggressive. No, come on.
but I think our whole heart of the fan base, they understand that. Listen, it's going to take time. We need to get behind the manager, get behind the players, because the way we say it is if we were poor before the manager and we're poor with the new manager, there's a clear issue here, isn't there?
Yeah,
And I think we've got to hold out to at least the January transfer window where hopefully Joe Edwards can has got a few contacts from his days at England and Chelsea, so we can get a
yeah,
few loan players through the door, maybe a few permanent signings, who knows? But it's going to take time, and I think the fan base understand that.
yeah, absolutely. He's connected well to Chelsea, to Everton, and to England, isn't he? So, yeah, you can expect a few loan signings then coming in. All right, let's get some predictions from you then, George, if that's all right. Then Millwall
Yeah.
against Huddersfield. You've watched your team a lot. Huddersfield won't come and attack you. They'll
Yes.
sit back and catch you on the break. So, how do you generally do against teams like that?
Well, I actually remember we played Huddersfield last season towards the back end of the season when Neil Warnock was there and we lost 1-0. And I remember we had about 70% of the ball. We had more efforts on goal, more shots on target, and they scored. I think it was Ward scored from their only counter attack of the game. So fingers crossed that doesn't happen again. I mean, like you said, Huddersfield will sit off us and we'll have majority of the ball, which I think we might struggle with. But I'm going to predict us to win 1-0. I'm always an optimist. I'm always an
Well,
optimist when it comes to
we love
football.
an optimist on this channel. That's all
Yeah,
right, George.
you've got to be optimistic. So I
All
think
right,
it would be a 1-0 win. 1-0
right,
Millwall win.
okay, right, George. That's fantastic. We'll catch up with you next week and see how you've done. Cheers, mate.
No worries. Thank you.